For Luka specifically, he knew that they weren't going to switch this double drag, so as he would come off of these two ball screens, he could get his eyes focused on this help defender, which in this situation is Rudy Gobert. And as soon as he came off and saw the help, all he had to do was get his eyes to what's referred to as the tag defenders, and if they didn't cover up the roll, it was an easy dunk. Hey guys, welcome to the Film Room. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking out this video, and if you watch most of my videos, I appreciate your support. We're gonna jump right into this concept of a double drag, which is also referred to as 77, typically in the NBA. And a drag screen is anytime you're coming down in transition and somebody sets an early ball screen. So naturally, if two people are setting that drag ball screen, that's how you come up with the term double drag. So after the guard comes off that second screen, you're gonna have one big who rolls and one big who pops, and then the guard has to make a decision based on what the defense does. Now this action can look really simple, but it's very difficult to guard because the on-ball defender is always gonna have a hard time getting through both of these screens as the ball handler comes off. And that's going to allow him to keep his focus on the second screener's defender, and basically this man is gonna tell him which read he's supposed to make. But before we get into those reads, here's a word from our sponsor. Coaches, if you're looking for a new customizable board, then Hoops King is the place for you. Their website is easy to navigate and you can customize your board down to the most personal details. And having a two-sided feature will allow you to keep track of everything that you need to come game time. And you can select your line options. So whether you're in high school, college, or the NBA, there's a board just for you, which is one of the reasons the Los Angeles Lakers purchased their boards from Hoops King. And I can personally guarantee you that the logo that you customize on the website will look exactly the same way in person, if not better. And they guarantee swift delivery, so you'll have your new board within 10 days of ordering. The link to their website is in the description, or just type in hoopsking.com. Now, the Dallas Mavericks had a ton of success using this concept against Minnesota, and part of the reason for that is they never got on the same page about how they wanted to guard this action. And with the backcourt of Luka and Kyrie, as soon as they figured this out, they absolutely torched them. For Luka specifically, he knew that they weren't going to switch this double drag, so as he would come off of these two ball screens, he could get his eyes focused on this help defender, which in this situation is Rudy Gobert. And as soon as he came off and saw the help, all he had to do was get his eyes to what's referred to as the tag defenders, and if they didn't cover up the roll, it was an easy dunk. And he understands this concept so well that when he would go to pass it to the roll man, he would actually look to the opposite corner to hold these two tag defenders to make Lively even more open. And Luka figured this out very early in the series. As he came off of this double drag in game one, Gobert helped, and he saw that Reed never got all the way to the midline and dumped this thing off for an easy dunk, and he continued to do it the entire series. But what makes Dallas scary is that Kyrie also comes off of double drags and he plays it differently. Most guards, when they get that help defender, are just going to get off the ball to one of their teammates that's open, but Kyrie is crafty enough to get around Gobert, and now he gets downhill and he's got a 4-on-2 situation that there's no way Minnesota can guard. Now you have to guard this difficult concept that looks completely different depending upon which guy is coming off the screens. But what makes 77 really difficult is you can add things to it. So as Luka comes off of this double drag, they added what's referred to as an exit screen, where Kyrie is going to run the baseline to the opposite corner, and what that does is it removes something referred to as a tag defender. And here's why that's important. As Luka comes off the screen and gets his man to chase him, it puts stress on Rudy to try and stay in front of the ball, but also at the level of the roll man. By Kyrie running the baseline, it removes the only backside defender that can help on this roll, and it makes him wide open. The other thing that they've done with this concept is instead of running an exit screen, they run a back screen for a lob. So as Luka's coming off of this first drag, he's going to set a back screen, and even while Luka is being double teamed, he still has the ability to throw this ball on a dime to the cutter. And this is an action that a lot of teams in the NBA have been running for years. As Dellavedova comes off the double drag, you're going to see this back screen right here on Allen. And because Cleveland doesn't pressure in their ball screen coverage, it makes it easy to throw this lob. So let's look at some other variations that you can run out of double drag. Typically, you're gonna have the first screener pop and the second screener roll. But an easy modification is to have the second screener shallow cut out to the wing and then have the first screener set it and dive to the rim. This would typically be referred to as 77 shallow and can give you an opportunity to get a catch and shoot three. You always want for your shooter to be the second screen in this situation. So the Warriors put Curry second, so as CP3 comes off of this double drag, he gets two people to guard the ball, and then instead of shallow cutting, they're actually going to set a flare screen for Steph that gets him enough space to get this catch and shoot three. And the other thing you can do besides for tagging things on the backside of it is you can start your action differently. So here Philly runs an Iverson cut for Harden, and then they're going to flip right into this double drag in the middle third. So as Maxey comes off, you're going to see Embiid quickly slip out. That's going to force this strong side help defense to come in, which you should never do, and it leads to a wide open catch and shoot three to the corner. Another simple way to get into double drag is by running what's referred to as a ram screen. So you're going to see here that they set a screen for the first screener, and then Steven Adams is going to flip and become the second guy, and here's your double drag, and it turns into that back screen lob for Jackson that we showed you several times earlier in the video. And here's one more creative thing you can do out of double drag. Here, Boston's going to shallow cut or ghost the first screen, and as they go to set the second one, all of this is a decoy so that they can set this flare screen with Jaylen Brown, and then he's going to slip to the basket, and these backside two defenders get caught sleeping. Hey, if you learned something from this video, I would encourage you to share it with somebody who you know loves hoops. Thanks for coming through. We'll see you next time in the film room.